Hello, my friends. Some of you haven't heard my voice for years anymore. I want to take the opportunity to do kind of an update to tutorials that I did several years ago, and it's yet again about sidechaining. So there are actually two methods how we can do sidechaining on the Digitakt, as well as the Digitakt 2 that I have right here. And the first method is done by using LFOs, which is most likely the method that I would prefer today. But there's another one which is actually a little bit more traditional, as I would call it, which is done by Trigless Trigs and stuff like that. So let's get straight in and let's have a look at how we can do this with the LFOs. So let's first create a new project, and we will use the default sounds of that project just to make it easier to follow along. Okay, here we are. And those are the default sounds. So let's demonstrate this with this sound. Or let's take this one. So first we take the kick, just a very basic kick pattern. Really nothing spectacular. And now let's get a simple pattern in this from this one in. Does that sound somehow? Yeah. Not very spectacular, but should do the trick. So let's actually increase the length of the notes a little bit so that we can hear the sidechain in action, you know. Okay. And now it's all about getting the LFO right. And first things we do is we choose the volume as the destination, like so. Now we have to set an appropriate speed, which is what I found out, 16 is okay. And we need a waveform for that. And you know, this is a square wave and it works best for a sidechain, I think. So next thing, we have to turn the speed into the negative direction, because we want this LFO to start right there and go up. So it should be at 0 and when at 100, you know, when it's all up. And we have to set the speed to -32 in that particular case. And now we use the trig mode. Let's use the trig mode first. Okay, and we crank that up right now. You can hear it sounds a little bit weird. Let's have a listen. This doesn't sound like a sidechain, right? So what's wrong? Well, basically, when we have a look at the trig page, we can see there's a parameter called LFO trig. You know, this is an LFO trigger parameter. And it tells the Digitakt to re-trigger the LFO with each and every step that we have on the sequencer right here. And this is obviously not what we want. So to get rid of this, we first deactivate the LFO trigger. And now things might sound weird again. Let's have a listen. Right. And the reason why that is the LFO doesn't know when it should start to trigger. So we have to tell him. And we want the volume to go down when the kick drum comes in and go up when the kick drum is not there, right here in the middle, you know. This is what this square wave should reflect. And so we tell it to re-trigger, to trigger it on the first step and on the first step only. Let's see if that already works. Have a listen. Right. This is about right. Now there are situations when things like this can still go wrong, you know. And in that particular case, if that happens, you have another option. So when you set this LFO trigger on right here, and you have a longer sequence and everything, and somehow it seems to, you know, just not sound right anymore, there's another thing you can do to make sure that it always works. You set a couple of Trigless Trigs right where the kick drum is, and do an LFO trigger on all of them. But now, instead of using the trig mode right here on the LFO, you should choose the one-shot mode, so it only triggers a cycle once and then stops. It keeps it, so to say. Have a listen. This should sound pretty much the same. Yeah, right. That's fine. Okay? So this is basically the way we can do this with an LFO. Now, another way of doing it, which is kind of, I would really call it a legacy mode, is by using those Trigless Trigs that we now already have and actually just p-locking the volume to it. Okay, let's quickly clear the pattern. I want to show you something with this. So I turn the length all the way up to like 16 so that we have a single, that the sound lasts almost until the end here. Listen to that. It's nothing in there right now. And to better demonstrate how this works with these Trigless Trigs, I do it like this now. It already has those trigs. Have a listen now. Yeah. So you can see this is a method that could work, but is a little bit unflexible, and I would definitely not recommend it. The way to do it with the LFOs is definitely the best one, you know. So again, LFO to 16 BPM multiplier, speed for -32 with the trig mode, and now you can use the depth parameter to control the intensity of the sidechain, like that, you know. So let's quickly replicate this on this track again, just so that you can see, and remove all these p-locks right here, and let's do that right. Sounds a lot better, right? Okay, so that's it. Hope you like it, and I hope you can make some good use of this tip. And well, let's see. I will probably do a video about this on the Digitone as well, because there are a couple of additional things that we have to take into account on that one. But first, let's stick to this one with the Digitakt, and I wish you all the best, my friends, and I see you in my next video. Bye!